Just waiting for the stream to get started. Alright, let's go. Today we're going to work on CodeCheck Python Exercises, the assignment for simple branches. Let's go full screen. It is March 14th and the bakery is holding a pie sale. All pies with a regular price of $10 or more are $3.14 off. All others are $1 off. Write a program that reads the price of a pie and prints the discounted price. Wow, that's confusing. So it is March 14th and there's a sale. Regular price of $10 or more are a certain amount off. Others are $1 off. Alright, so if they want us to complete this if, that's what the ... means here. That's not Python, that's just the placeholder in CodeCheck. So if something is true, I think in Python we need parentheses around an if statement. I'm not actually positive, so I'm going to try it without, just for fun. If something is true, so if the price is greater than $10, then price equals price minus 314, and actually a shortcut for this I believe is valid in Python would be minus equals, saying it's the same as saying price equals price minus 3.14, and then otherwise everything else we can just minus equals 1.0, and I think I could just do 1 without a decimal like this because Python will handle the float versus integer. I don't think that will cause any problem, but if it did I could add the 0.0. And then discounted price, that seems to be all we need. Let's try it. And we have a problem. Discounted price is not defined. So they wanted us to actually create a new variable for that. And I think, I wonder in Python if we can create it only inside the if statement. In some languages we would have to initialize it to like some value outside of the if statement, but I'm going to comment that out because I want to see if we can do it without that. Nope, it's not defined, so that's exactly what I was saying. We're going to have to initialize it to something. And what would be, I'm just going to initialize it to none, just to be really clear that the answer isn't 0 if something in here fails. I don't have an answer yet, so I'm going to put the special value none in Python. And unsupported for none type and float. Oh, well, that doesn't make sense because now I'm doing minus equals. Really, it should be the way I had it in the original format, which was equals price minus. So discounted price minus equals would mean take discounted price and subtract 314 from itself. But I want to actually subtract 314 from the value price. I'm using just Control-C and Control-V to copy and paste things here. Alright, looks like, whoops, now we worked okay on the original price, $15.30, but we did not do well on this other one. Original price, discounted price. So actual original price, discounted price, 6.86. $10 or more, classic mistake of greater than or equal to $10 or more. I don't think that had to do with the error that we just saw though. Perhaps it did. So now $10 or more we're including if the price is greater than or equal to 10, not just greater than 10. The following solution is proposed for the preceding exercise, but it has a fault. To find the problem, observe the provided input, click on the appropriate line inside each if statement, and update the price variable. User input, whoops. Okay, user input equals 12.14. I think that's a 14, not a 19. Price equals 12 point, okay, we're converting from a string to a float. If price is greater than 10, select the next line to be executed. Price is in fact greater than 10, so we will enter into this if statement and not skip over it. And then here we will change the price to price minus 3.14. So 0.14 would go down to 12. 12 minus 3 is 9. Enter. Correct. If price is less than 10, select the next line. Is it less than 10? Yes, so we're going to go inside of it. Price minus equals 1. We'll go down from 9 to 8. Discounted price is 8. Looks like all correct there. Give the opposites of the conditions in the table. Assume that I and j are integers. The opposites of, okay, so we're trying to, these are conditions that could be an if statement, and we're trying to say what the opposite of this is. So I is less than j. If I is not less than j, I can be equal to j, or it could be also greater than. So I'm going to say greater than or equal to. The opposite of less than or equal to is going to be just greater than, not greater than. So j greater than I. The opposite of equals to, with the equals I equals j. The opposite of that would be not equals, which I think you can do bang equals in Python. And yep, the opposite of this is I equals j. Write a program that reads in the x and y coordinates in a Cartesian space. This means like x, y, two-dimensional standard coordinate system, not radial or radian or whatever, defined by degrees, but just defined by like left to right, up and down, for the endpoints of a line segment, and then determines if the line segment is parallel to the y-axis. Y-axis is the vertical. Hint, a line parallel to the y, yeah, it's telling us that that's vertical. Your program should print the line is vertical or the line is not vertical. Enter the coordinates for the first point. Okay, so we're getting a point, x and y, getting coordinates for a second point, x and y. It's a line segment, so we're drawing something through that if the line, and determines if the line segment is parallel to the y-axis. It's parallel if it's a vertical. So if we have x is, basically this is saying, is it a vertical line, which means the x is going to be the same. So is it in the same horizontal position? Parallel to the y-axis, yeah. So if we have a vertical line like this, then a line segment would be, that's the y-axis, and then this would be our line segment and our poorly drawn points. They're vertical. This here would be the x-axis, and so they're parallel if they have the same, parallel to the y if they have the same x value, I believe. So if, so we don't need parentheses here, but parentheses won't hurt us, I don't believe. If x1, and I need no space there because then it's going to be x as a variable and then the number 1. So x1 is the same as x2. I think strictly you could also use the is keyword here and it would throw like a warning, but yeah, let's just try that. But you should use equal because they're numbers. And then if that's true, it should print line is vertical. So I'm going to highlight this and hit the open paren to wrap that in parentheses. That code editor allows that, and most do. And then I'll say print, and then I need to, again, I'm holding Control and Shift to drag highlight over this word by word, and then I'm letting go of Control, and now I still have Shift, so I'm going letter by letter, and then I'm still holding Shift so I can hit the double quote, and I'm gonna do an opening double quote, and then I'll wrap that in quotes. Copy, paste this down here, and then say line is not vertical. Let's see how this goes. Yep, okay, so they like that. I think a more correct answer would have said, instead of using is, which works in Python, but doesn't work in all languages, I think this would be a better solution. It's just to use equal equal. Probably overcomplicated that one. You're given the width and height of a picture. Determine whether it's in landscape orientation, wider than tall, in portrait, taller than wide, or square. Then print landscape, portrait, or square. Okay, that's pretty easy. We're going to use like a if, else if. We could also use a match statement, but you probably haven't learned that yet. So let's just do if, else if here. We're not supposed to edit this stuff up here, I believe. So on line 4, we'll say if, and I'm not going to use parentheses because the less text we can use, the better. Some languages would require that. If width is greater than height, then I should new line, and notice it's tabbed over by default, which is good. I think when you actually only have one statement, you can do that on the same line, I believe. So normally you would expect to see it on a different line, but for like density, you could even, I believe, put this on the same line. So I could say print width greater than height would be landscape. And then new line, I believe, will already be a new statement, but a little known fact is Python should allow semicolons to say I'm done with this statement, so that you could put new statements on the same line. It's very uncommon, but I do think it's supported. So instead of just doing a new if statement, which we could do, we could just handle a new if statement. A better approach would be to say else if. So if this first one wasn't true, then we go to this next one, rather than just saying in all cases go to this next one. Actually, no, that wouldn't work, because, oh yeah, it would work, because we would, if we hit landscape and then we wanted to go to portrait, we wouldn't hit portrait because the condition for portrait wouldn't be true. But sometimes you want to like exclude the first one. So good practice is to do else if. Width is, let's do, if width is less than height, so that means height is larger, then we are in portrait. I'm going to leave that semicolon just to see what happens, and then else, finally, we will print, I'll just show you the other way this could have been. Any of these could have been on a new line tabbed over, then print square. Oops, what's the issue? Use an if, elif. Oh, see, my Python syntax is slipping. Else if would be valid in perhaps a different language, but not Python. So if I was confused about this, maybe I would search it up. Python else if, and let's do -AI, just so we don't get an AI answer here. Oh, that didn't seem to work. I'll click on the official Python documentation, and I'm noticing if, and then I see elif x == 0. So this looks to be the keyword that I'm going to pull. So elif, that condition, then do that. All